Tonight, we examine the heavy price of a dream as one of the world's most recognizable voices faces a silent battle behind the curtain. For months, the bright lights of Broadway have heralded the arrival of a new powerhouse, but behind the velvet curtains of the Ambassador Theater, a much more concerning story has been unfolding throughout early 2026. Angelica Hale, the girl who once captured the hearts of millions on America's Got Talent, has officially made her transition into the grueling world of professional musical theater, starring in the highly anticipated Boop, the musical. While the reviews have been glowing, our investigative team has been tracking a series of quiet cancellations and backstage rumors that suggest the young star's health is under immense strain. Industry insiders have whispered about the physical toll that 8 high-octane performances a week takes on a body that was once at the brink of total failure. There are reports of specialized medical staff being present on-site during her rehearsal blocks, sparking intense speculation about whether her history with organ complications is resurfacing under the high-pressure environment of New York's theater district. While her team maintains a business-as-usual front, the reality of a Broadway schedule is unforgiving, demanding a level of stamina that few 18-year-olds can sustain, let alone one who has already survived a brush with the unthinkable. We are seeing a pattern of exhaustion being cited for missed appearances, a term often used in the industry to mask more significant medical challenges. The question remains, is the pursuit of a Tony Award worth risking the health that she fought so hard to reclaim? But to understand the true gravity of these current rumors, we have to look back at the medical files that originally shocked the nation. It was a diagnosis that no parent should ever hear, carrying a survival rate so low that it's a miracle we are even speaking her name today. To fully grasp the fragility of Angelica Hale's current 2026 career, one must revisit the harrowing clinical details of 2013, when a simple cough spiraled into a life-threatening emergency. Medical records from that era paint a grim picture of a 4-year-old girl battling septic shock and double pneumonia, a combination that led to a terrifying 12-day medically induced coma. During this period, her internal systems began to shut down one by one, leaving her on life support with doctors offering a mere 20% chance of recovery. While she eventually emerged from the darkness, the damage was permanent. Her kidneys had been completely compromised. The subsequent journey involved months of dialysis and a high-stakes transplant surgery where her mother, Eva, served as the donor. This wasn't just a recovery, it was a total biological overhaul. Fast forward to 2026, and the long-term effects of such a traumatic medical history are becoming a focal point of her professional life. Living with a transplanted organ requires a strict regimen of medication and an environment free of extreme stress, the polar opposite of a global music career. There is growing concern among medical experts and fans alike that the Miracle Girl narrative has overshadowed the reality of her ongoing vulnerability. Every high note she hits is a testament to modern medicine, but as she pushes her voice to the limit, many fear the underlying foundation is being stretched too thin. This historical struggle set the stage for a level of fame that most adults couldn't handle, let alone a child who had just learned to walk again. Behind the golden buzzers and the standing ovations lies a calculated industry that often treats young talent as a renewable resource. Angelica's rise to fame was meteoric, marked by becoming the first contestant in America's Got Talent history to receive 2 golden buzzers. However, as we look at the trajectory of her career leading into 2026, a more critical perspective is emerging regarding the child star machine. Critics and industry analysts have begun to question the psychological weight placed on a young girl who was marketed not just as a singer, but as a survivor. This branding created a unique kind of pressure, the need to remain eternally grateful and flawlessly joyful for the public eye. Our reporting suggests that the transition from a cute child prodigy to a serious adult artist in 2026 has been met with significant internal resistance within the industry. There is a documented curse, for those who peak too early. And for Angelica, the shadow of being the runner-up in Season 12 has been a difficult one to step out from. Speculation has surfaced regarding the level of autonomy she actually held during her early teens, with some suggesting her career path was heavily curated to maintain a specific, family-friendly image that may have stifled her true artistic identity. As she approaches adulthood, the cracks in that curated image are starting to show, leading to a pivotal moment of self-discovery that is playing out in the very public arena of social media and live television. The transition she is currently navigating is one of the most dangerous phases for any performer, where the public's perception of who they were clashes violently with who they are becoming, and the stakes have never been higher for her brand. For the first time in her life, the girl who was never left alone is navigating the concrete jungle on her own terms. In a move that surprised many of her longtime followers, 2026 has marked Angelica's official departure from the protective bubble of her family home in Georgia. Her relocation to a private residence in Manhattan is more than just a change of scenery. It represents a significant shift in her management structure and personal independence. For years, her parents were her literal lifelines, managing every aspect of her health and career. However, sources close to the star indicate that the moving out process was a calculated step toward reclaiming her narrative. This newfound freedom has come with its own set of challenges, as she is now responsible for managing her own health protocols and demanding schedule in one of the most competitive cities on Earth. We have observed a notable shift in her public appearances. She is often seen navigating the city solo, a stark contrast to the heavily chaperoned image of her youth. This independence has sparked a new wave of rumors concerning her relationship with her parents, with some speculating of professional distancing, as she seeks to redefine her music for a more mature audience. Living alone in New York City is a grueling test of character for anyone, but for a star whose life was once measured in hospital visits and parental oversight, this 2026 chapter is a bold, and some say risky, declaration of adulthood. The question on everyone's mind is whether she is truly prepared for the isolation that often comes with top-tier fame, especially when the family support system that saved her life is suddenly hundreds of miles away. A single blurred photo and a cryptic caption have sent the internet into a frenzy, suggesting that Angelica's private life is no longer an open book. As we move further into 2026, Angelica Hale's digital footprint has undergone a dramatic transformation, shifting from polished promotional content to something far more guarded and mysterious. The most intense speculation currently surrounds a series of social media posts featuring an unidentified companion, sparking rumors of a high-profile romance that she is desperate to keep out of the headlines. For a performer who has been in the public eye since she was 9, this sudden pivot toward privacy is a strategic move that has both intrigued and frustrated her fanbase. Our analysis of her recent engagement shows a shift in how she communicates. Gone are the days of constant health updates and family vlogs. In their place is a sophisticated, almost noir, aesthetic that suggests a desire to be seen as a serious, mature individual. This rebranding has led to accusations from some corners of the internet that she is hiding her true self, while others argue that she is simply setting boundaries that were never allowed during her childhood. The mystery surrounding her inner circle has only added to her allure, but it also raises questions about the pressures of modern celebrity culture. In an era where everything is content, Angelica's decision to withhold parts of her life is a rare and potentially dangerous gamble for her brand's growth. We are witnessing the birth of a new kind of celebrity persona, one that values the unseen just as much as the revealed. And the fallout from this shift is currently being felt across her entire digital empire as fans scramble to piece together the truth behind the curated images. As the final notes of her latest single fade, the world is left wondering if we are witnessing the rise of a legend or the final act of a child star's journey. The outlook for the remainder of 2026 is a complex tapestry of high-stakes tour and unreleased projects that could define Angelica Hale's legacy for decades to come. She is currently preparing for an ambitious European tour, a move that many see as a make-or-break moment for her international appeal. However, the controversy surrounding her musical direction continues to grow. Her newer tracks have moved away from the soaring ballads that made her famous, leaning into a more experimental, alternative pop sound that has divided her original audience. Some critics argue that she is losing the soul that made her a household name, while others praise her for having the courage to evolve past the miracle kid trope. Beyond the music, there are whispers of a potential return to the screen, with rumors of a documentary that promises to expose the reality of her life after the Golden Buzzer. As she stands at this crossroads, the weight of her past successes and her medical history continues to loom large. Will she be remembered as the girl who survived against all odds, or will she successfully rebrand as the definitive voice of her generation? The 2026 verdict is still out, but one thing is undeniable. Angelica Hale is no longer playing by the rules that were written for her. She is navigating a path that is entirely her own, and whether it leads to global superstardom or a quiet exit from the limelight, the world will be watching every move.